Often, you're unknowingly sabotaging your own future. Small habits and everyday poor decisions are keeping you stuck in a cycle of frustration and stagnation. Buying things you don't need, neglecting investments, or relying on credit for everything. Each of these choices is driving you further away from prosperity. The truth is, millions of people make the same financial mistakes, believing they're on the right path. On average, people spend more on status symbols and frivolous goods than on building wealth. Meanwhile, compound interest works against you. Debts mount up, and the dream of wealth seems increasingly out of reach. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can turn things around right now. You just need to know what mistakes you're making and learn how to fix them. Today, I'm going to show you 10 financial mistakes that are draining your money and hindering your personal and financial growth. More than that, I'm going to give you practical tips to avoid each one. If you want to get out of debt, build real wealth, and learn to make money smartly, stick with me until the end. The change you've been searching for could be just one step away, and that step starts right here. Unnecessary purchases, the pursuit of status. The pursuit of status is one of the most common traps for those trying to display success without actually building it. Spending money on branded items to impress others is an expensive and ineffective strategy for achieving prosperity. Imagine someone who finances the latest smartphone just to follow the trend. That money, if invested at an average return of 10% per year, could double in less than a decade. People prefer to show off now, ignoring the impact it has on their financial future. Luxury purchases typically don't offer any real returns. They're assets that depreciate quickly and drain your finances. For instance, an imported car loses its value the moment it leaves the dealership, yet its maintenance costs remain high. It's important to understand that true respect comes from accumulated wealth, not what's on a price tag. To avoid this trap, the secret is to focus on what really matters: growth and investments. Before making an impulsive purchase, ask yourself, do I really need this, or could this money work for me? Replacing the desire to impress others with a solid plan for financial education is what separates the successful from those drowning in debt. Furthermore, learning to value experiences and lasting achievements instead of frivolous goods can completely change your relationship with money. Neglecting long-term investments. One of the biggest financial mistakes is believing that the future is too far away to deserve attention right now. Many people overlook long-term investments, choosing to spend in the present without considering the consequences. The truth is, every day without investing is a day lost in building your wealth. The power of compound interest is one of the most amazing tools in the financial world, but it only works if you start early. Imagine investing $200 a month for 20 years at an annual rate of 10%. The outcome is far greater than if you started 5 years later, even with the same contributions. The big problem is that the habit of postponing investments creates a false sense of security. Joe always said, "I'll start next month," but months turned into years, and he never took that first step. Meanwhile, the money that could have been earning returns was being spent on unnecessary items. Many people don't realize that investing doesn't have to be complicated or require large sums of money. The key is to start, even if it's small, because time is your greatest ally in the process of financial growth. Neglecting the long term is common because the results don't appear immediately, unlike a purchase where the reward is instant. Investments require patience and vision. The secret is to view money as a tool that can work for you, creating a cycle of gains that grows over time. So, the lesson is clear: don't neglect the future. Every dollar you invest today can turn into financial freedom tomorrow. Learn about financial education, discover the types of investments that match your goals, and start now. Don't let time pass by while you watch others build wealth and establish financial security. Lack of financial control. Financial control is the foundation of any prosperity plan. Without it, no matter how much you earn, the money simply vanishes. Not tracking your expenses prevents you from seeing the true extent of your spending. It's like driving a car without a dashboard. You don't know your speed or whether you have enough fuel. A simple tool, like a spreadsheet or a budgeting app, can change everything. Recording every expense, no matter how small, helps identify spending patterns that are sabotaging your finances. Another critical point is that lack of control often leads to debt. Not knowing exactly where your money is going makes it easy to resort to credit as a quick fix. Allocating a fixed percentage for investments at the beginning of the month ensures that you don't spend everything before remembering what truly matters. Managing your finances isn't just about numbers, it's a mindset. It's about being aware that every dollar spent is a decision that can either bring you closer to or further away from your goals. Financial control is the key to living with greater security and less anxiety. Overpaying for basic services. Basic services like electricity, internet, and phone are necessities, but they often hide costs that could be reduced with a little attention. Many people pay high rates because they don't review their contracts or compare market options. Simple actions like looking for cheaper packages or renegotiating contracts can lead to significant savings over the year. For example, adjusting your phone plan to better match your actual usage or switching internet providers can cut costs by up to 20%. That saved money can be better put to use in investments, creating opportunities for financial growth. Another important point is being conscious about energy consumption. Small actions like switching from regular bulbs to LED, turning off devices in standby mode, and avoiding using the electric shower during peak hours can significantly lower your electric bill. Additionally, reassessing the use of old appliances that consume more energy can help avoid unpleasant surprises in your budget. Saving on your energy bill not only reduces monthly expenses, but also frees up resources that can be put toward financial, education funds, or a plan to achieve the long-desired prosperity. Recurring subscriptions, like streaming platforms and apps, can also be a source of financial waste. Often, these expenses go unnoticed because each individual cost is low, but together they add up to a significant expense. Regularly reviewing your subscriptions and canceling those you don't use is a simple way to save money. This amount, accumulated over the year, can be directed toward creating an emergency fund or other financial actions that yield long-term returns, contributing to wealth building. Reviewing contracts, negotiating better terms, and adjusting spending. Habits are essential steps to optimize your finances. Small savings on basic services, when accumulated, have a significant impact on your budget. More than that, it's an opportunity to redirect those resources toward goals that truly matter, such as building an investment fund or strengthening financial security. Accumulated small expenses. The infamous ant expenses are one of the biggest villains of personal finance and often go unnoticed by many. Small expenses, like daily coffees, quick snacks, or that seemingly harmless subscription, end up draining your budget before you even realize it. The problem with small expenses is that, individually, they seem insignificant, but together they create a gaping hole in your finances. Identifying these expenses requires discipline and attention. The best way to start is by recording every expense, without exception, for at least a month. Use apps or even a notebook or spreadsheets to track everything. These simple practices will reveal where your money is being wasted. Often, you'll find that you're spending money on items that don't add real value to your life, but which accumulate over time. The goal isn't deprivation, but substitution. Prioritize what really matters and avoid what doesn't contribute to your prosperity. Additionally, it's important to review the small consumption habits that generate these expenses. Choosing to make coffee at home, packing lunch for work, or planning your grocery shopping better are simple ways to save money. These changes not only help cut costs, but also foster a mindset of financial control. The money saved can be directed towards investments, index funds, or even an emergency reserve. Over time, these accumulated resources transform into solid wealth, providing security and financial freedom. Uncontrolled small expenses undermine your ability to build wealth. It's like a leaky bucket. No matter how much you earn, the money will continue to seep out. Identifying, adjusting, and redirecting these amounts is the first step toward a more efficient budget. It's not just about saving, it's about cultivating the habit of investing in your future. Excessive use of credit. Credit can be a powerful tool, but without control, it turns into a financial trap. Many people use credit cards or take out loans to maintain a lifestyle beyond their means. The problem is that credit isn't an extension of your income. It's money you'll have to pay back, often with high interest rates. For example, financing. A purchase in 12 installments might seem viable, but with rates of 10% per month, the final amount becomes much higher. Misused credit not only consumes your future earnings, but also prevents you from investing in the present. Excessive use of credit is common among those who try to solve financial problems with more debt. Credit cards, overdrafts, and emergency loans create a vicious cycle. You pay one debt with another while the interest steadily climbs. The solution to escaping this trap is simple, but it requires discipline. First, avoid using your credit card for purchases you can't pay off the following month. Second, organize your finances to build an emergency reserve that covers unexpected expenses, eliminating the need to resort to loans. Another effective strategy is to renegotiate your debts and consolidate them into a single payment with lower interest rates. Many banks and financial institutions offer better terms for those looking to regularize their situation. Additionally, replace consumption habits that rely on credit with a more solid financial plan. For example, instead of financing a high-cost item, save the necessary amount over a few months and buy it outright, avoiding unnecessary interest payments. These practices free up resources that can be directed toward investments and wealth building. Credit, when used in moderation, can be an ally. But for that to happen, you need to set clear limits. Treat your credit card as a tool, not as an extension of your income. Remember, the interest you pay to the bank could be used to multiply your money through financial education and long-term investments. Underestimating maintenance costs. Underestimating maintenance costs is a common financial mistake that often goes unnoticed until it becomes an expensive problem. Whether it's vehicles, real estate, or even electronics, neglecting preventive maintenance can lead to much higher expenses in the future. For example, delaying an oil change for your car might seem like a temporary saving, but over time it can damage the engine, requiring costly repairs. The same logic applies to real estate. Ignoring small leaks or cracks can turn a simple maintenance task into an expensive renovation. These oversights end up draining your finances and compromising your growth plans. The solution is simple: prevention. Carrying out regular maintenance, even if it seems unnecessary at the moment, is an investment that prevents unexpected expenses. Another effective strategy is to calculate the maintenance cost before acquiring high-value assets. Many people buy cars or real estate without considering the recurring costs associated, such as insurance, taxes, and repairs. This mistake turns an asset that should be a positive into a financial liability. Prioritize prevention, plan your expenses, and treat these costs as an essential part of your budget. By doing so, you not only avoid unexpected expenses, but also protect your wealth and prosperity. Undervaluing knowledge. Many people underestimate the impact that knowledge has on their financial lives. Ignoring the importance of studying financial education, upskilling, or learning new skills is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. After all, what you know determines how you handle money and how you're able to multiply it. Investing in. Knowledge is the only expense that guarantees a return because it transforms your mindset and gives you the tools to create prosperity. Those who don't understand how money works end up being controlled by it, living trapped in debt with no plan for the future. Undervaluing education limits your personal and financial growth. Books, courses, and seminars are investments that yield practical results. For instance, a basic course on investing can teach you how to build a diversified portfolio and minimize risks. Books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or The Intelligent Investor offer information that can completely change your relationship with money. And best of all, with so many resources available, such as videos and podcasts, starting to learn is easier than ever. The problem is that many people view these expenses as unnecessary. They prefer to invest in material goods that depreciate, over time instead of prioritizing what can truly generate long-term wealth. Imagine spending $500 on a course that teaches you how to create an extra income stream. Does it seem expensive now? Think of the thousands of dollars you could generate by applying what you learned. Compared to the cost of financial mistakes and poorly planned decisions, knowledge is cheap. What's truly costly is remaining ignorant and continuing to make bad decisions with your money. Investing in knowledge is more than just acquiring information. It's about gaining power. Power to make better decisions, plan your financial life, and achieve the prosperity you desire. The more you learn, the more tools you'll have to create opportunities and protect yourself against unforeseen events. Don't underestimate the impact of a well-prepared mind. Misused technology. Technology is a powerful ally for managing finances, but when misused, it can turn into a huge waste of resources. Many people frequently upgrade their electronics or buy the latest gadgets that they don't fully utilize. For example, buying the most expensive model of a smartphone just to use Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok is an unnecessary expense. On the other hand, technology also provides countless tools to improve your financial management. Financial education and investment platforms allow you to learn more about the market and strategically allocate your money. Instead of spending resources on unnecessary devices, investing in tools that boost your financial efficiency is a much smarter choice. Technology should be seen as a means, not an end. The goal is to use it to simplify your life, save time and money, and most importantly, enhance your ability to achieve wealth. Constant upgrading and impulse buying only drain resources that could be put to more productive use. Gambling. Gambling, such as betting on sports, is one of the most destructive financial habits for anyone. While it might seem like a tempting way to change your life, the reality is that the odds of winning are extremely slim. For example, in some lotteries, the odds of hitting the jackpot are 1 in 50 million. Meanwhile, thousands of people spend a significant portion of their income on tickets and bets, believing they're investing in a better future. However, that money, which could be directed toward real investments, ends up being wasted on something that will hardly yield any return. And the problem is even worse when it comes to betting houses. These platforms always favor the house, meaning the user will almost always end up losing. At first, it might seem like you're winning, but a false sense of victory is created to hook you, only to eventually take all your winnings. And then, your money too. A much more effective alternative is to replace those bets with consistent, planned investments. Imagine, for instance, investing the same amount you spend each month on gambling into stocks, real estate funds, or fixed income. Over time, compound interest would make that money grow exponentially, producing real, tangible results. Furthermore, by learning about financial education and strategically applying your resources, you develop a mindset of control and confidence, instead of relying on luck to change your life. Betting on chance is an emotional, often impulsive decision that undermines financial growth. The path to prosperity isn't found in lottery tickets, but in conscious choices and consistent work. Redirect the money and energy spent on these bets towards strategies that truly yield returns, such as creating an emergency fund or investing in courses and financial products. Now that you know the 10 most common financial mistakes, the question is, what are you going to do with this information? It's not enough to just know where the problem lies if you don't change your financial life. Perhaps you've realized that you've already fallen into some of these traps. Or maybe you've understood that small adjustments in your daily life can transform your future. Which of these mistakes have you made, and how do you plan to fix them? Leave your answer in the comments and share your ideas. The next step is to start, even if it's small. Swap the betting house for an investment, replace unnecessary spending with learning, and watch as your money starts working in your favor. Don't let luck or chance decide your destiny. If you enjoyed this content and want to keep learning how to build wealth and achieve financial freedom, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with anyone who needs to hear it.